Hey guys, how are you doing today? So I am bringing you my autumn TBR. So I've been having sort of fits with monthly TBRs because I always end up just reading what I want to read, and I'm an emotional reader and I'm a mood reader, and sometimes I don't like listening to past self tell me what to read. She's a bully, you know, giving me a list of stuff I have to read. Come on, who does she think she is? So I am going to start with an autumn TBR, just a group of books that I can read for the month of sort of September, October, and November. So these are books that I'm hoping to get to within the next 3 months. So I'm thinking that this might be a little easier to accomplish, to do. So without further ado, let me get started. The very first book that I have is Murder by the Glass by Michelle Scott. This is a wine lover's mystery, and if you saw my August wrap-up, I read the very first one in this series, and I'm actually really excited to read this. It follows Nikki Sands, who was an aspiring actress, and she moved from Los Angeles to Napa Valley to sort of help run a winery. And she's the assistant of Derek Malveaux. And Derek Malveaux is the owner of the winery. And so I'm pretty sure someone gets poisoned while drinking wine, but that's about as much as I know about it because I don't want to know too much about it. I'm really excited. This is the second one in the series. The next one that I am going to read is Caught Red-Handed by Ellie Alexander. This is a bake shop mystery, and I have fallen in love with her bake shop mystery. This is number 4. I've read the first 3 this year, and I fell in love with this just whole entire series. I love the cover of Ellie Alexander's books. If you see, there is a skull and crossbones. Every single one of her series have a skull and crossbones on it, and it's fantastic. I love it. This follows Jules Capshaw. She is running a bake shop with her mother in Ashland, Oregon, and it's the Shakespeare Festival. It looks like it's about to start, and Carlos, her husband, is back. It's her estranged husband, and she's trying to figure out how she can continue her relationship with him. He lied to her, a very big lie that you found out in book number 3, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. And she's trying to figure out, has she changed too much to be with him? And so you're sort of following her and her relationship with Carlos. But it says that Mindy Nolan, the owner of a new restaurant in town, turns up dead at the batter at hand thickens. Batter at hand. Jules knows that there was bad blood between Mindy and others in town, and tracking down the killer could prove to be an unwelcome treat. I love all of the food puns in here, and they always have like recipes in here, like creamy potato casserole. Babe, can we make this one? Tomato and orange soup. And what's really cool, sorry, sidetrack squirrel. What's really cool about this is that any of the recipes that are at the end of this book are cooked in the book itself. And so you sort of get to, like, if you want to, you can like cook along as you read it, and it seems really awesome. So I'm super excited for that one. Again, with the cozy mystery theme, I promise these are not all cozy mysteries, I swear, is A Sheet Cake Named Desire by Jacqueline Brady. This is a piece of cake mystery series, and it follows Rita. So this is sort of like a competition, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. This is the first in the series, but I don't want to know too much about it, but I'm excited. Again, it has food, and it has recipes at the end. Ooh, jambalaya and Southern-style cornbread. Sounds good. The next book I have is the second in the Bibliophile Mysteries. It's If Books Could Kill by Katie Carlisle. And this follows Brooklyn Wainwright, and she is putting together old books. That's what she does. That's her job. She restores them. And she is finding herself in Edinburgh, sort of a book fair, and she runs into her ex. And for some reason, her ex has a very expensive and very rare book. She has no idea how he got a hold of it, but he ends up dead, and she is being blamed for his murder. So she's trying to find out who did it so that she can get back home before being sentenced to jail for the murder of her ex. And the last cozy mystery on my autumn TBR is Patterned After Death by Elizabeth Lynn Casey. This is a Southern Sewing Circle series. She has, I don't even know how many, like 12, 13. It is about Tori Sinclair, and she lives in a very, very small town of Sweetbriar, South Carolina, and she is a librarian at her, in the small town. And she has become very, very close friends with the ladies in the Southern Sewing Circle. One of the best friends is Margaret, and now Tori is one of the youngest. Everyone else is elderly, in their probably late 40s, but all the way into late 70s. And it seems that Jake, which is Margaret's oldest son, has been under suspicion for killing his best friend, or who used to be his best friend, and she has asked Tori to go out of her way and try and figure out who did it, who killed Jake's best friend, because it sure as heck wasn't Jake. Another book I have is actually an ARC. It's All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't know how I got this book. I just had surgery on my gallbladder, and Aaron comes in with a package, and he's like, "Hey babe, you've got a package." I was like, "I didn't order any books." And when I opened this up, it was from Scholastics, and it is a ARC of All the Crooked Saints. Now, I've never read a Maggie Stiefvater book before, but I know that this is a really, really popular book, so I'm super excited to read it. It says on the back, "Here's a thing everyone wants, a miracle. Here is a thing everything fears, what it takes to get one." So I'm excited to read this. I don't know quite what it's about, but it seems really good. Another book that I did buy is the book of the month. I bought Sourdough by Robin Sloan. It's, again, I have I don't know, like you could call it like an addiction to food books, like anything about food. Oh, here's the bookmark that came with the book of the month. It says, "Sourdough is best enjoyed with a cup of coffee and thick toasted bread. You will get hungry. Enjoy." So it says that Louis Clary is a software programmer at General Dexterity, a robotics company with typical San Franciscan world-changing ambitions. She codes all day and collapses at night, her human contact limited to the two brothers who run the neighborhood hole in the wall from which she orders and savors dinner every evening. Then disaster, visa issues. The brothers close up shop and fast. But they have one last delivery for Louis, their culture. The sourdough starter brought from afar used to bake their bread. She must keep it alive, and they tell her, feed it daily, play it music, and please, please learn to bake with it. And so I think that it sort of goes through her life as a programmer and maybe turning herself into maybe a baker or something along those lines, but it looked really good and it looked funny, so I was excited for that. And then last but not least is The Story of Bees by Maja Lundy. I got this in September's Page Habit box, and if you want, I have my Page Habit unboxings linked down below and you can look there. And this is sort of following three distinct timelines: England 1852, United States 2007, and China in 2098. And it's the history of bees, because we all know that the world is changing, we're getting hotter, like climate's changing, and it sort of follows like what's going to happen as bees leave. And I have the reader or the author's notes, and what I love about Page Habit is the fact that all of these post-it notes are annotated by the author. So you open it up and you see what the author was thinking about when they first started that particular scene or that particular aspect, what influenced them in a way. And so I'm really, really excited to read this. So let me know down below, do you have problems with keeping up with a monthly TBR? Have you thought about doing maybe a seasonal TBR like I'm doing? Let me know what you think down below. That's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist, guys. I'm super excited to get started on this autumn TBR. I feel like a weight has sort of been lifted off of me, because I don't feel like the struggle of you have to read this month kind of way. I can sort of pick and choose over the next 3 months. Please like this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that maybe there's some books in here that you've read that you're excited for me to read, or maybe you can add some to my TBR for winter. Just leave some books down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I post brand new videos every Wednesday and Friday, and they range from cozy mysteries to new releases and unboxings and all the bookish fun. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.